So good morning, Academy55 students, premium members. Welcome to this live session. Slightly different format as before. Explanation is in the Facebook group. Facebook are changing policies, so we are inviting you all into the webinar room. You won't be able to chat to me, unfortunately, because I'm concentrating on the actual trading, as I hope you are too. This is for educational purposes only. And please bear in mind, whatever I do, there will probably be a 1 to 2 second delay at best. So with that being said, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. My trading session today will be between 10 and 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up 10 o'clock, which is there, and I'm going to be marking up 11 o'clock, which is over there, and trading in between these two times. These lines here, these blue lines, are what I marked up previously as support and resistance lines. I use them as points of interest because I like to find out where price is going, or what I think where price is going and why it's going there. For example, it sort of respects that line there. And I get these by going to the higher time frames. Again, training for that is in the back office. But real quick, for a bit of housekeeping, make sure your MT4 or MT5 is fully operational with TradingView. We are on the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, and make sure these are turned purple so you get a 2-to-1 risk to reward, and your lot calc is in purple, and it says 1% because I go for 1% to trade. So make sure that's all up and going. Now, if you notice, we have a sell alert right up here, but we are now hugging the purple EMA line. And so if I was to take a sell, again, it's not yet 10 o'clock, and price is dancing around, maybe waiting for 10 o'clock. Who knows? We don't know. As traders, we don't know what they're thinking. All we do is follow the fingerprints of what they actually do. Here is some imbalance being created. So, but it's only on the 1 minute time frame, but they might want to fill that out before they continue a sell, or they might want to fill that out and go higher. We don't know. We trade what we see, not what we think. But I'm going to be waiting for after 10 o'clock anyway, really. Might have a bit of volume. So I've got a couple of minutes to explain why I didn't trade this morning, because if anybody's regular here, they know that I usually trade between 8 and 9. And this is the reason why. This is between 8 and 9. We had high impact news. So high impact news basically pushes volume, and they manipulate the banks and all that, manipulate price to take out equity here and equity down there. Usually you get a volume burst, but they use that as a way of disguising the fact of taking equity out. Sometimes it's genuine. We don't know, and you know that's gambling. So stay out of that altogether. And this morning I was justified because both cases they lost, as you see. So I was justified in not trading this morning. But right now we are at 10 o'clock. So I want to see price get below this little line I created for myself. So I'm going to put my MT4 on. I'm going to put my line chart on. And I want to go for a sell. I'm going to anticipate where the stop loss is going to be. The stop loss will be right there where the red wave started. And straight away, if I get below there, that line there, I'm into a sell. This is how fast it could happen. Little bit of volume. Making sure I get my 2 to 1. So I guess it's got to give me a bit of extra confirmation that we are indeed going for a deeper sell. And this is how quickly it can happen. Note where I've got my stop loss at the start of where the wave turned red. My trading assistant is telling me correctly that I've got 1% risk and a 2% reward. So indeed, I'm just waiting for a lower low to be created as extra confirmation, because otherwise we could just dance around here, well, for as long as they want, really. So I need an extra confirmation in my mind that we're breaking this mini consolidation area, and it's not proving that to me yet, as you can see. So if we do have a deeper sell, I'm there with my finger ready on the button. Just as a reminder, this session will be recorded and it will be in your back office later on within the next few hours and on our YouTube channel. Yeah, Facebook have changed policies. They no longer like people live streaming into groups. And we've been having technical problems, issues with that. So that's why you're in this webinar room. Perhaps you could write in comments on our Facebook group how you feel about that, whether it's better, whether it's worse. But due to technical difficulties, at the moment, this is what we're at. This is where we're at. And until if we're happy with this, we'll stay. If not, we'll find a better technical solution. But we'll be guided by, well, we'll take on board what the majority feel about all this. So if you want to start a mini discussion about that in our Facebook group, that's fine. So at the moment, I need proof that we are breaking out of this mini sideways movement. It's mini at the moment, but we're getting a little bit of volume, as you can see. We are after 10 o'clock. It's now 3 minutes past 10 here in the UK. And I've got my stop loss set at the start of the wave. I'm not yet in the trade because I need to be convinced that we are going to be breaking out of this consolidation and going for a further sell. But having said that, now the parallel SAR has flipped below price, and parallel SAR needs to be above price for me to get into a further sell. So price needs to get down here at least to make that flip again above the price, and that just might not happen. We don't know. Might take a while. And all the time, the price is hugging the EMA 462 line, which we know price respects that line an awful lot. This is its safe place, basically. And again, it might be waiting for a bigger move later on today. We don't know how long it will be. They might not be waiting for a bigger move at all. They might technically stay here as long as it wants, but we'll have to wait and see. We're patient enough to wait and see. So I'm going to take away from the MT4 version and go back to TradingView at the minute, because we were saved from not taking that sell. I bet if you'd taken that sell, you would wish you'd be glad you was out of it now. Sorry, you'd be not very happy being in it, because here is a bit of imbalance and they might be mitigating that and continuing the, and if price is above the purple line, we are in a bit of a buy trend. If it's below the purple line, we're in a bit of a sell trend. But back here, back at 9:05 this morning, we've really been more in a buy trend than we have in a sell. So they might wish to continue that. But using the indicators and a little bit of experience that you'll get over time, if you keep listening on these lives, you will glean the fact that we are little extra confirmations to keep you safe, because that's the number one rule in trading is look after your equity. There is a second rule. The second rule is look after your equity. I think you know what I'm saying. So although we only go after 1%, we treat this very, very seriously, obviously. And now we are doing what we're paid to do, and that's being patient and trading what we see, not what we think. So nice to see so many people in here today. We've got 24 people in. Hello to you. So right, so that we've got to really, I think we'll go back to the MT4. And like I said, the stop loss can come down a bit now because the stop loss is the trend is actually closer to the entry than the start of the wave turning red. So the stop loss will go down there because the stop loss is the trend line is falling all the time. So move your stop loss accordingly. But we've got to wait for the parabolic start to flip above price if we was going to get into a sell. And yet a little bit more consolidation. That imbalance has been tapped by that spike there. So we could indeed see a bigger sell taking place, but we want to see confirmations. We can't get into any trade now because the parabolic star needs to flip above price to get us into the trade. And by that time, it'll be there. Then I want to see price getting below these lines here, creating lower lows to give me a extra confirmation of a deeper sell. It may or may not happen. Like I said, this consolidation may continue for a while. We don't know. But we're here ready. And all the time, my stop loss is getting lower and lower because the trend line is getting lower and lower. And that now is closer to entry, what would be the entry, rather than up there where the wave started to turn red. So now I'm out of the 1% zone. That's okay. I'll move that. If you watch the trainings in the back office, if your little numbers go below 20 there, these calculations don't say 1%, because as you see, it went to 19 and the calculation didn't go to 1%. So always make sure you're 1%. So technically you've got to be more than 2 pips away from where you enter the trade. And down there where the trend line is closer than 2 pips. So that's why that didn't say 1% anymore. But I'll adjust accordingly or get as near to either 2 pips or the trend line as I can. If indeed I do enter the trade, I'm going to make sure of that. Make sure of the 1% above anything else. But as you can see, at the moment, we are still dancing around, going into a sideways motion. This happens 75 to 80% of the time on all pairs and all indices. That's what it does. And this strategy and 98% of strategies that you'll find anywhere on YouTube operate going with the trend, not in accumulation. because accumulation is more of a gamble. You can't predict it as much, and there ain't no. All these indicators are what we call lagging indicators. That means it tells us what happened a couple of minutes ago, and we use that as a guide. So if it's an accumulation, knowing well, there's many indicators that will predict what's going to happen, the future. That's why reading price action is a very, very astute thing to do, and having experience. And if you're on the, but as I would say to all new students, pick one pair if you want to know price action and learn how that, what price is capable of doing within that price action of that one pair. And luckily we are on the EUR USD, and now we are on the US 100. I'll be doing a few live training videos in the future with that. But now I'm going to take that lines off now because it's, if anything, volume room is turning green, and indeed they might be, I'll go back to trading view in a minute, and indeed they might be looking to continue on their buy move. Again, filling out that imbalance that's on that candle there. Being very cagey, as they do. That's why we want to see all these confirmations. But the trend line is still very much pointing down. It's still red. So, you know, we've got to wait till volume is introduced into the market. And you know what? If it doesn't happen, we haven't lost anything, have we? And hopefully you've gained a little bit of education. It's better than just taking a trade for the sake of it. I'd never do that. Always play detective and work out why you think price is doing what it's doing. And you can only do that with experience as well. So we got kept out of that sell, which is good. Because if you got into it, so I'm just going to do this real quick. So if you got into it there, the stop loss would be there. Your 2-to-1 is way down there. So by now you'd be feeling, oh, glad I'm out of that, because you're very close to stop loss, and it could do that. We don't know, but we don't care because we're not in the trade, because of me looking for extra confirmations. So, yeah, we're in a bit of a limbo at the moment. But that's okay. Like I said, hopefully you're gaining education. You're not losing anything. If you have any questions, please write them in the Facebook group. Not on here, because here I can't concentrate on questions, because obviously I'm concentrating on, this is my time. See, this hour, whatever happens in this hour, this is what I'm going to do. And like I said before, to remind people, especially new people, we only trade for a 1 to 2 risk to reward. If we win the first one, great, we've won our 2%, then we walk away for the rest of the day. If we lose 1% on our first trade, then you're entitled to wait again for another trade, again a 1 to 2. And if you win that one, you have won your 1%, and then you walk away. You walk away whatever happens. If you lose the other trade, unfortunately, you've lost 2% on the day. You walk away. Your mind, you reset your mindset, and we come back again stronger tomorrow. And hopefully, study why it is you think you lost, because you can find out a lot more from your losses than you ever can from your wins, and find out why you think it is that you lost that trade. Were you too impetuous? Were you too impatient and got into the trade far too quickly? Did you not read the price action properly? And then check all those things in your own mind, and keep doing this again and again and again, because it's the brain is a muscle like any other muscle. When professional tennis players play a game about an hour before, all they do is forearms, and they do that to get muscle memory in their arm. So by repeating the same things every day, you are getting muscle memory in your brain. So your brain automatically looks for the things like, is there imbalance there? Why is price doing that? To go up and see that imbalance there. Where's the trend line? Is it pointing down? Where's the parallel star? And you get that all deeply ingrained in your mind to just look for it automatically, like falling off a log. Eventually it'll click, and then you'll be able to recognize accumulation, consolidation, all this shenanigans here. From there all the way down to there, just pure accumulation. Get to that. Right, so we could be having ourselves a bit of a buy, but the parallel SAR is above the price. It needs to be below the price, and we need that all-important buy alert. And that could happen very, very quickly within the space of 2 or 3 candles. So I'm going to go back onto the MT4 again. And we've got to wait for the trend line to turn green. I'm going to put the line chart on. We want to reverse the and go down there. And the parallel SAR now has flipped, by the way. Move zoom up there. Right, okay, so the wave has started to turn green, and the trend line is with the wave now, so that's where the stop loss will be eventually. But we've got more consolidation. The parallel SAR is above, below the price. We haven't got no buy alert either at the moment, and that's the most important thing. No buy alert. So we're reacting off this imbalanced candle here. And it's just a question of whether, obviously, whether they want to buy or go for a bit of a sell, because they've mitigated that imbalance now by that wick there. If you drag it along, there's no imbalance on that candle now. So they're in the position now where they can do what they want. Go up or down. They've got balance in the market, because that's what the market wants to do, is balance itself. But we could see a sudden volume burst one way or the other, so we need to be ready. but we need to see things, and we need trend line to turn green in this case, and also a buy alert happen. And that, like I said, that could literally happen within the next minute. Like as I said, it came out painted, so it's there ready to be more of an issue. So if we do get a buy alert, sorry, I'm going to get my stop. I'm going to wait for the trend line to turn green. It's not green yet. And that's where my stop loss is going to be. We've got the buy alert. We have to wait for the trend line to turn green, which you could do very, very quickly. Because we get another volume burst for a buy on this candle here, all of a sudden things could change. But, oh, there we go. But as per the rules, stick to the rules, green, green, green. Waiting for a green trend line, and that trend line could actually turn green at any stage very, very quickly as this progresses up the chart. The trend line has just turned green now. So I'm in a sell situation at this minute, but that could change very, very quickly. Waiting for the candle to go green again, then I'm in for a buy. Come on, what are you gonna do? Right. So just getting above that previous candle, if it will, before I look at taking the trade. Being patient, not jumping into anything. Apologies if you can hear a motor in the background. Somebody's trimming a hedge. So we are, yeah, we are waiting a little bit more of a volume push for the buy, if that is indeed what's going to happen. Because price is right. I'm going to be in the trade. There we go. I'm in the trade now. We had a buy alert. Power SR is below price. The wave has started to turn green. The trend line has started to turn green. And now I'm in the trade. And now at this juncture, I would encourage you to go away and make a cup of tea because there is not doing your mental agility any good by what you're seeing. Those with an anxious disposition, there's no point putting yourself through this because you're in the trade, you're committed now. And we got 2% up there. And if the trade comes down and hits our stop loss, it hits our trend line, then we lost 1%. But you know what? There we go. We walk away and take another trade if it happens between now and 11 o'clock my time. But hopefully we will continue our rise and we'll see what happens with this trade. There isn't a lot of volume around, so unfortunately for us. Usually I like trading between 8 and 9 because usually there's quite a lot of volume because the London's just opened. But this morning, as you saw, I didn't trade because of the high impact news. And I was justified in not doing that because I would have lost 2%. But the later you go on in the day, the volume is around, but it's not, it's not, it's statistically, it's more likely to happen between 8 and 9. But volume happens obviously during the day. It's just not as assured. That's all. But, so we'll wait and see what happens. Like I said before, here is the time where you will go and make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, walk the dog even, because it's all locked in. So if it gets up there, for example, you get your 2 to 1, and if you get locked out, stopped out, you lose your 1%. So whatever you do isn't going to make all your doesn't matter how many nails you bite or how many hairs you pull out of your head. It's not going to change it one slightest. So I do this because I contractually obliged, so you can watch what's going on. So because we are very transparent in what we do, wins and losses. So with that being said, I'm going to go on mute until such time as we either get near our take profit, or unfortunately, if we get near a stop loss, then I'll unmute and then I'll reevaluate, and then we'll see what time it is, if we've got time to take another trade, if we need to, or whatever. So enjoy watching the screen. Hope you're getting a bit out of this, win or lose, education wise. And the recording for this will be in the back office and on our YouTube channel within the next few hours. I'm not leaving, I'm just going on mute. As you can see, price is now checking out the trend line on our indicator. It's wicking it and all that sort of stuff. Really, this area here, I was hoping for a bit of a breakout with volume, like the indicator told us, but in actuality, we are still caught in this accumulated stage. So we're a bit vulnerable, really. It could go either way for us, but it is what it is. And I think, yeah, I think we're going to be stopped out, unfortunately. Brace yourselves. No, show no emotion. The emotion's the same whether we win or lose. Just a bit of understanding of what's happening in the charts. If go and have a look at the journal, my journal, and make your own journal with your back testing, and look at the longer term picture of how we make 12% per month or 2% a day. Look at the screenshots that we do, the journal, and this, it is what it is. But hey, we might have a bit of a reprieve. But I mean, the margins are so small at the moment. We're still in a very vulnerable area because of the accumulation. I appreciate that now. I was anticipating a bit more of a volume there because we created higher highs and what the indicator was showing us, but it tricked us. It caught us out, and you can have the best indication of a buy or a trend one way or the other, and you can still lose because that's the way the markets are. If you won every trade, we'd all be millionaires. But the longer term, we will succeed in the end. I'm not talking defeatist because we by no means finished at the moment, but we are vulnerable. Go one way or the other at the moment. But like I said, there's no point. I'm just explaining. There's no point in reacting that way. We're in the trade. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. Timings of the day are important as well because of trading. Like I said, I usually like to trade between 8 and 9 because usually there is a good amount of volume one way for a buy or a sell, and also at 3 to 4 in the afternoon. So if I do indeed lose this trade, I would consider trading again one more time between 3 and 4 this afternoon, but I won't be live trading with you guys. But that's what I would do myself. And indeed now, if your lifestyle is good for it, we have the US 100 that we trade between 7 and 8, because just like the EUR USD between 8 and 9 in the morning, we've back tested extensively the US 100, and we found that between the hours of 7 and 8 in the evening on the US 100, we have a good amount of volume for a buy or a sell. So that's what we choose to do going forward. So indeed, you could do that. But at the moment, like I say, everything's nice and quiet. It's climbed right up. The volume's gone out of the market again. So my anticipation was, no, I wasn't impatient. I was just yeah. Hindsight's a lovely thing. But yeah, there's just nothing there now. So we are in a very vulnerable situation. But you know, you could go either way. But at least in our favor, although this is accumulation, as you can see, we are still rising a bit. But if they have a bit of volume for a sell, we're done. But it could work the other way as well. And there we go. Unfortunately, we are out of that one, but we still got 20 minutes to go. And we got a sell alert now. So let's quickly reanalyze. And we've got the waves to start to turn red. We've got the volume ribbon red. Parabolic SAR is above price. We've got no alert at the moment, but from what I've just seen now, I want to be even more cautious and possibly not get into a trade at this time of day, because obviously there is not much volume around. We know that now. So, right, sell alert. So I want to see price down here somewhere before I contemplate getting into a trade, which again would push stop loss up there. But in reality, that is, well, only 4 pips. It's not too bad. But I want to see price way down here. So let's turn the indicator on, because we could be getting a bit of a sell volume going on. So I'll put the line thing on, and I will, the stop loss eventually will go there, but I need to see price getting below this, creating a new lower low here. Again, apologies for the somebody's cutting a hedge at the back there. It's a lovely sunny day down here in Cornwall. Been a horrible day yesterday. But yeah, I want to see price get way below that purple line before I'd even contemplate a sell. Again, if you're feeling anxious about what you just saw, please look at my journal. Know that we do take losses, but the bigger picture is we get where we need to get within the next day or so. Walk away, reset your mindset. That's why we walk away and come back again tomorrow. And if you really want to study more, study your losses and try and work out why you think you lost that trade. I know I lost this trade because I was waiting for new higher highs to be formed here, which they did. But because of lack of volume, which I can't control, obviously, we've gone into consolidation and we're not getting any volume one way or the other, really, at the moment. Like I say, because we're on the minute time frame, things can happen quite quickly. So, I'm glad I didn't take that sell at the moment. So I'll go back onto trading view. Here we are on trading view. Because price technically is still in a buy trend, even though, well, I shouldn't say buy trend because it's not a trend, it's consolidation. But we are more of a on the buy side than we are on the sell side because we're above the purple line. Price is sort of hugging this purple line, even if it's up there, still but relatively close to it. No big things are happening. Bit of an unfortunate start for the first trade of the month, but there we go. But we'll come back stronger. And I still technically could get another trade because we got another 17 minutes to go. And you really got to be patient. Patience is your best attribute as a trader. But I want to see price get below this area here to prove to me that we are on a deeper sell and getting out of the consolidation. And it may or may not happen in the next 18 minutes. There we go. That's the MT4 version, and this is the Trading View version. We like to use Trading View because it's a lot more manipulative. You can manipulate the screen a lot more, like drag these up and down, more than MT4. It's just MT4 is old and clunky, but it's a really good platform for entering trades. But yeah, so all I'm seeing is accumulation. Not seeing any definite signs of anything really. And like I said before, I want to see price certainly below this line here, going along there. That support and resistance line I drew for myself to prove to myself that yes, there will be a deeper sell taking place. I think I'll go back on the MT4. Just have a look. Yeah, I want price to get below these levels here. That level there. In actual fact, what you could do is draw a line. I want to see price get below there before I would go for a deeper sell. Anticipate where the stop loss is. Well, the stop loss would be on the trend, which would be there. Parallel size above price. We've already got our sell alert there. But I want to be more cautious and I want to see price get below this line here before I would consider we very well could be breaking out of consolidation. Because otherwise we can see what we're seeing now. Some traders would be less cautious, perhaps, and already be in for a sell. They might be proved right, they might be proved wrong. But I like to be a bit more cautious. Perhaps protect my equity a bit more in the long term. But like I say, I can understand why people might want to get in now, but I wouldn't. I'll just remove that line chart. Remember, I'm looking for price to be below this line here to go for a sell. Trying to get away from the dance because that's what it's doing now, is dancing around this area here, hugging that EMA again. But another 12 minutes left on the session. I'll just move myself a minute until such time we get some action one way or the other, if we do. Incidentally, I'd just like to point out that this area here, where it says 1.08500, this area here is a certain line that price respects also, because price is broken up into 50 pips, 100 pips, 25 pips. And as you can appreciate, 1.08500 is halfway between 1.0900 and 1.800. So price is respecting that area. But yeah, it's just such a sideways movement. I mean, this is trying to trade. This is very precarious, as you've seen. Well, we haven't been precarious. Don't get me wrong. I've lost 1%. I mean, it's no big deal. No big deal. But and this is hindsight, because I was hoping it would take off, but wasn't to be. More accumulation. But I'm going to put the line tool back on. And I'm going to wait for price to get underneath this line here. And you know what? I might consider not trading anymore. But it's coming up to 11 o'clock. There might be a small push for us. Shouldn't say that because I don't know. Price would be down there on the trend line at the moment, but I need a lot more confirmation than what it's giving me, because it's not giving me anything. And by now I'm getting a bit fed up with it, to be fair, personally. Dancing around. And yeah, I've made a decision. I am not going to be trading anymore today, because we'll probably get a volume push one way or the other at 11 o'clock. But then they might go back to an accumulative state. And I've been waiting around a long time now. And I feel to myself, I don't wish to trade anymore at this time because of what I'm seeing, all the accumulation. If my lifestyle permitted me to, if anything, I'd come back between 3 and 4 this afternoon, when there possibly could be a bit more volume in the market. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you again tomorrow at 7:55 UK time tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for being here today. I hope you got a little bit of education out of this anyway. And unfortunately for we lost 1%, the recording of which will be in the office within the next few hours, or on our YouTube channel. Please bear with us. And we'll see you all and come back stronger again tomorrow. Thanks very much for your attendance and your time. All the best. Bye for now.